Hello, everyone, and welcome to another deep dive into the future of air dominance. Today we are going to uncover one of the most ambitious projects coming from Japan, a fighter jet that represents the dawn of a new era in aviation. Known as the Mitsubishi FX, this aircraft is not just a plane, it is a symbol of technological independence, national pride, and a bold step toward competing with the most advanced 5th and 6th generation fighters in the world. The Mitsubishi FX, often referred to as the FX or F3 project, is Japan's answer to the rapidly changing landscape of aerial warfare. To understand the importance of this aircraft, we need to look at Japan's history with aviation and why this project even exists. For decades, Japan has relied on American aircraft to defend its skies. The F-4 Phantoms, the F-15 Eagles, and more recently the F-35 Lightning II have formed the backbone of the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force. But with rising geopolitical tensions in the Asia-Pacific region, particularly the growing military power of China and the presence of Russian aircraft in nearby airspace, Japan realized it could no longer depend solely on imported technology. It needed a fighter built in Japan, designed with Japanese requirements, and capable of facing the future of combat head-on. The Mitsubishi FX is expected to be a 6th-generation fighter jet, combining stealth, supermaneuverability, advanced sensors, and networking capabilities. The design shows a sleek twin-engine aircraft, reminiscent of a hybrid between the American F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning, but with Japanese engineering brilliance embedded in every line. Unlike its predecessors, the FX is being designed from the ground up to integrate artificial intelligence, directed energy weapons, and advanced electronic warfare systems. Japan is not aiming to play catch-up anymore. Instead, it wants to leap ahead. The origins of the FX can be traced back to Japan's experimental program known as the X-2 Shinshin, previously referred to as the ATTX. This was Japan's technology demonstrator, a small stealth aircraft that flew in 2016 and proved that Japan could indeed build a stealth fighter from scratch. While the X-2 was never meant for combat, it tested critical technologies like stealth shaping, fly-by-wire systems, and thrust vectoring engines. These innovations formed the foundation of what would eventually evolve into the FX project. What makes the FX stand out is Japan's vision of future combat. Warfare is no longer just about dogfights and missiles. It is about information, dominance in the electromagnetic spectrum, and the ability to operate as part of a larger combat network. The FX is designed to act not only as a fighter, but also as a command node in the sky, directing drones, sharing sensor data with other aircraft, and disrupting enemy communications. Imagine a fighter jet that is not just the weapon itself but also the brain of the battlefield. That is the philosophy driving the FX program. One of the most fascinating aspects of the FX is its planned propulsion system. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, along with Japanese engine manufacturer Raihe, are working on an advanced turbofan engine that will deliver over 30,000 pounds of thrust per engine. This makes the FX one of the most powerful twin-engine fighters on paper. The engines are expected to feature three-dimensional thrust vectoring, giving the FX incredible maneuverability, potentially even surpassing the legendary agility of the F-22 Raptor. Maneuverability still matters in the age of missiles because a highly agile fighter can dodge threats, exploit angles in close combat, and control the skies in ways that no missile guidance system can fully counter. Another key feature of the FX is stealth. Japan has invested heavily in radar-absorbing materials, special coatings, and advanced shaping to minimize the radar cross-section of the aircraft. Unlike older stealth designs, however, the FX will not only rely on shaping but also on electronic warfare to remain hidden. It is expected to feature next-generation radar jamming systems, active stealth technology, and advanced decoys. This means the FX can confuse enemy radars, create phantom targets, and even blind adversary missiles. But stealth and maneuverability are just one side of the story. Where the FX truly enters the next generation is in its integration of artificial intelligence. Reports suggest that the FX will feature an onboard AI co-pilot, capable of handling tasks like sensor management, threat detection, and even controlling unmanned drones flying alongside the fighter. This manned-unmanned teaming concept is revolutionizing air combat. Imagine a formation where the FX leads a swarm of loyal wingman drones, each carrying weapons, sensors, or electronic warfare pods, controlled by the pilot's voice or by AI algorithms. The FX could engage enemies without exposing itself directly to danger, using drones as both shields and spears. Weapons for the FX are expected to be cutting edge as well. Beyond carrying air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles, Japan is exploring hypersonic weapons and directed energy systems. The FX might one day be able to fire a high-energy laser to intercept incoming missiles or blind enemy aircraft sensors. In addition, Japan is reportedly developing a new generation of long-range air-to-air missiles specifically for the FX, capable of engaging targets far beyond visual range, with advanced guidance systems designed to defeat stealthy opponents. Now, let us step back and look at the bigger picture. Why is Japan investing billions of dollars into this project? The answer is rooted in national security and independence. The F-35, while a powerful aircraft, is still an American product, with restrictions on modifications and upgrades. Japan wants an aircraft it can control fully, upgrade independently, and adapt for its own unique defense needs. The FX is not just a fighter, it is a statement that Japan is reclaiming its position as one of the world's leaders in aerospace innovation. The FX project is not a solo mission either. Japan has been exploring international collaboration, particularly with the United Kingdom and Italy through the Global Combat Air Program, also known as GCAP. This program aims to build a next-generation fighter that combines the expertise of multiple nations. While details are still being finalized, there are discussions about integrating British sensor technologies, Italian electronics, and Japanese stealth and propulsion expertise. If successful, this collaboration could create a fighter that competes directly with the American Next Generation Air Dominance Program and the European Future Combat Air System. But make no mistake, the FX faces challenges. Developing a sixth-generation fighter is a monumental task, requiring advanced materials, software, and billions of dollars in funding. Critics argue that Japan's economy and defense budget may struggle to sustain such a massive project. Others point out that the timeline, aiming for deployment around 2035, leaves Japan dependent on the F-35 and upgraded F-15s in the meantime. Yet, despite these concerns, Japan remains committed, driven by the understanding that the cost of inaction could be far greater than the cost of innovation. The symbolic value of the FX cannot be underestimated. For Japan, this project echoes its past as a pioneering aviation nation. From the legendary Zero fighter of World War II to the cutting-edge X-2 demonstrator, Japan has always been capable of remarkable technological achievements. The FX is the continuation of that legacy, but now aligned with modern defense needs, ethical constraints, and global partnerships. As we imagine the Mitsubishi FX soaring into the skies, it is worth considering how this aircraft could change the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region. With China fielding its J-20 stealth fighters and Russia deploying advanced Su-57 jets, Japan cannot afford to lag behind. The FX ensures that Japan will have not just a seat at the table, but potentially a decisive advantage in any future confrontation. More importantly, it guarantees that Japan has the ability to defend its sovereignty without complete dependence on foreign powers. In the cockpit, the FX is expected to feature some of the most advanced pilot interfaces in the world, augmented reality helmet displays, voice command systems, and eye assistance will reduce pilot workload and enhance situational awareness. Instead of being overwhelmed by data from radars, sensors, and drones, the pilot will see a streamlined view of the battlefield, with threats prioritized and options presented instantly. This human-machine teaming is the future of aviation. The jet becomes not just a machine, but a partner in combat. The development of the FX is already underway, with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries as the lead contractor. The Japanese government has committed billions in funding, and early prototypes are expected to be built in the coming years. The final operational version may look slightly different from the concept images we see today, but the core vision will remain: a stealthy, powerful, intelligent fighter that defines Japan's air power in the mid-21st century. As we close this deep dive, one thing becomes clear: the Mitsubishi FX is not just about military hardware, it is about innovation, strategy, and national pride. It represents Japan's determination to secure its skies with homegrown technology, while also contributing to international stability. It is a glimpse into the wars of tomorrow, where stealth, and unmanned systems combine to reshape the battlefield. And whether you see it as a response to global threats or as an engineering marvel, one cannot deny that the Mitsubishi FX is a fighter worth watching closely. The skies of the future will not be dominated by the jets of the past. Instead, they will belong to those nations bold enough to innovate, to push the boundaries of what is possible, and to redefine what a fighter jet can be. The Mitsubishi FX is Japan's answer to that challenge, and when it finally takes flight, it will mark not just the birth of a new aircraft, but the rise of a new chapter in aviation history.